Good afternoon, Westwood, and welcome to Fly-High Field for a TVL large matchup between the visiting Hopkinton Hillers and your Westwood Wolverines. And what a matchup we have right off the bat. Second game in on the season after the Wolverines played Walpole last week. A one-goal loss to a very talented Walpole team that just cracked the top 20. And Westwood has a good test today. So last year, both Westwood and Hopkinton went 1-1 on the season. Westwood went into Hopkinton, lost in overtime. Then Westwood played at home versus Hopkinton later in the season last year and had a nice win. Nice statement win for them in their season and the confidence of the trajectory of their season. It was probably about 4 or 5 games before the playoffs, but it was certainly a game that we talked about on the podcast with head coach Todd Zahurik as a game that he was pleased with. He said last year when they went into Hopkinton, they overlooked Hopkinton a little bit. Hopkinton is a terrific team. They have a lot of great talent, and they've gotten better year over year. And no question, they got a team that can certainly chase after a TVL large title, Westwood as well. So if you want to go out and win that TVL large title, you got to beat your TVL large rivals. And this is a rivalry game here in the TVL large. Both teams ready to get underway here. Timmy Malloy in the dot for the Wolverines. Got Mark Tucci and Roy Croft on the wings. We are ready for lacrosse, folks. I'll start on the official's whistle. And we are underway. Loose ball on the ground. Picked up by Timmy Malloy, getting the draw control right off the bat. Nice win early for the Wolverines, and they're going to get to work on offense. So some new jerseys for the Wolverines. Keep an eye, Troy Frederickson now number 22. He used to be number 7. And he had a bunch of goals the other night versus Walpole. Roy Croft as well. Roy Croft looking in towards the net. He's going to hold on it. Wolverines working the ball around, looking for some cutters. Stuhler sends it over to Cochran. Cochran playing some attack this year. Looked really good the other night versus Walpole. A good look for the Wolverines. Got a guy who can move the ball, can score from multiple different angles, can take it to the net. Got a great shot as well. Frederickson, this guy with some space, moves it over to the right. Looking to shoot right, shot, goes just wide right of the goal. Ball going to stay with Westwood. Stuhler going to pick up the possession. He's a kid who got a lot better from last year. And last year he was a terrific player. Shot by Frederickson goes wide. And great play by Roycroft, able to get just by the goalie to win the possession back for the Wolverines. So Wolverines going to keep the ball. He's got it in the X position. Stuhler cutting. Defended nicely by Hopkinton defenders. Finds him again. Shot and a save by the Hopkinton goaltender on a great point-blank shot by Stuhler. That was a save by Nate Burns, one of the captains for the Hillers. Remember him last year. He's a terrific goaltender. And Hopkinton with the ball. They're going to cross the 50. They're going to work it down in Westwood territory. For Hopkinton, making their personnel changes. You're bringing in some of the short stick middies, taking out the long stick middies to get some more offense out there. And you'll see Westwood do some changes as well. They'll bring on some of the long stick middies to play some D, help get that ball on the ground and cause some turnovers. Wolverine setting a nice perimeter, forcing Hopkinton to think things over. Hopkinton looking to work it one way, go the other. Hancock just missed on the stick. Shot goes over the net. Out of bounds, going to stay with the Hillers. You're watching Westwood Media Center coverage of Westwood Boys Lacrosse. Maeve Curtin on camera, Morgan Donnie on microphone. Delighted to bring you guys TVL Large Lacrosse. Hancock gets the ball on the ground. But Hopkinton able to pick that back up. Number 22, Ryan Millard. Sends it over to 17, Chase O'Donnell. Ends up in the hands of number 3. Shot and a save by Pollock. That was a shot by Matt Lodi. Great save by Pollock. It was a tough save. It was a bounce about 3 feet in front of them. Those are some of the more difficult ones. Easy when the bounce is about a foot in front of you, but when you have a couple feet in between, very difficult to get the timing on that. Shot off the post. Loose ball heading towards the far sideline. Harvey lays a hit, and a great play by Harvey. Lays a hit to allow the ball to go out of bounds so Westwood could get the possession. It's a high IQ play. He knew that it was out on Hopkinton, so he used his body to ensure Westwood got the possession. Westwood crosses the 50. Just about 3.5 minutes in here in the first quarter, both teams scoreless. Wolverine's going to work it around. Will Stuhler, so hard to defend. He's so shifty, so quick. And he's able to see some daylight. He was working around, took a big hit. That's going to draw a flag. And the ball's rolling towards the Westwood end, but we're going to get a whistle as soon as the Hopkinton player picks it up. And we're going to get a penalty. Oh, so it looks like a penalty on number 4 for Hopkinton. That's Braden Jokum. And Wolverine's going to get their first look on the man up. I think it was a slash. It was a big hit on Stuhler as he was coming across the crease area to set a pass out. I believe he was looking for either Fredrickson or Roycroft. Tough kid, got right back up. Wolverine's going to go on the man up. His brother Jack has the ball. He's going to work it into the box. Brother Jack had a terrific season this year on the swim team. TVL champs, the boys swim team this year. Walsh, over to Fredrickson, back to Walsh. Fredrickson was picking some corners the other night. When he's shooting lefty, he can sling that ball. That's what Fredrickson shot off the post. And going to be a Westwood ball. Roycroft going to pick it up. Seeing some good, solid movement with the ball for the Wolverines. Shot by Williams. That's off the post. So 2 posts in the last 15 seconds. Right off the bat, Wolverines moving the ball a little bit more crisp tonight versus Walpole. I think the weather certainly a factor. A lot better weather today. Not that it's a great weather day, but a little warmer. Walsh is looking for Stuhler. Hits the ground. Ball on the ground. Stuhler trying to kick it to himself, and then Walsh able to pick it up. Nice ground ball for Greg Walsh, sophomore. Errant pass there. Martucci to Williams, and I think it was Roycroft. Roycroft did a terrific job, able to fight for that ball, get the ball back up in Westwood's possession. Small thing, but adds up to big things. That was a 50-50 ball. Roycroft went out there and just got it. Martucci going to the net. Shot off the face mask of Burns, but Westwood able to keep the possession. That was another thing the other night that was a challenge for Westwood versus Walpole was they'd get the ball on the ground, but Walpole would get the wins on the ground balls. Fredrickson looking for some space. Sends it inside. Martucci just wide. Boys are buzzing. We've got 4 shots so far on the power play. Looking to get a 5th. Stuhler behind the net in the X position. He can pass it. He can take it right to the net. He's looking to take it. Sends it outside to Roycroft. Roycroft holds on it. A Walsh. Shot by Fredrickson. Did it get through? Yes. Westwood on the board. Off the stick of Troy Fredrickson. That was a beautiful low shot by Troy. Finds the back of the net. That's a good goaltender too, Burns. He had the stick there. Just Fredrickson was able to place it nicely to get it by Burns. That crucial first goal. I mean, it's not going to win you a game, but it gets you off to a good start. And you got to have goals throughout the games, and I know that's always a goal. Get that first goal to get on the board, and then add to it. Right back to the dot we go. Malloy. You got Sesselman and Hancock on the wings. And it's going to be won by number 88, Owen Champlin, who's one of the captains. Champlin picks it up, heading towards the net, looks inside to the long pole, and he scores on a quick possession and score there. That was number 77, Nolan Arichi with the goal off a quick win on the possession by Owen Champlin. Great play there by Hopkinton to answer Westwood's goal to tie it up at 1. A 1-1 here. 5 minutes, 49 seconds to go. Malloy with a clean win. Just what you needed after that goal. A quick win on the draw. Wolverine's going to work it up. Ball in the hands of Ryan Williams. He can take it himself. He does. Takes it across the 50. Sends it over to Sesselman. Sesselman down low. Inside to Fredrickson, who scores. Beautiful pass by Will Sesselman to Fredrickson, and then Fredrickson with the finish. Westwood takes the lead back. Beautiful passing. When you see passing like that, you're going to see odd man rushes that turn into goals like that. And it all was beautifully drawn up. Ryan Williams takes it in himself, which makes it difficult, forces someone to come after him to try and knock the ball loose. Then you get some good looks. Dish it off to Sesselman. Sesselman with that speed takes it right to the net. And then when you have the ball on the stick of Troy Fredrickson, something good's going to happen. And he puts it in the back of the net. Malloy with another win, takes a couple whacks and able to get it across the 50. Greg Walsh going to set it up for the Wolverines as they work the ball around. Martucci coming on the field. Sesselman coming on the field. Shot and a score by Sam Cochran. He took a hit after that and a flag, so the Wolverines earning not only a goal there, but going to go on the man up after that hit. Sam Cochran. Loved the look there. Him on attack. He was a midi that was part of the talented midi rotation. And he'd started some games and was part of the rotation last year. And then you put him now as a starting attack. What a talent he is, and a guy who can score a lot of goals for the Wolverines. Saw some highlights of him over the offseason and what he was doing, and he looked like he put his game just went into another gear in the offseason. So someone to definitely keep an eye out. Sam Cochran, the junior. And the Wolverines are going to have the possession after the goal because of the flag. So they have the man up and the possession, which is a well-earned goal right there. And looking to make Hopkinton pay with another goal here. Walsh, Fredrickson. Stuhler sends it behind the net to Roycroft. Williams. Wolverines very patient, making sure they get the right look. Love to see it. Inside, Martucci. Ball got deflected. Hillers were able to get in front of that, but Walsh able to get a stick on it. Keep the possession for the Wolverines. Going to take it right back down low. Roycroft looking. Sends it right to Williams. Walsh up top. Over to Fredrickson. Shot! Oh, just missed the goal and missed Roycroft. That was that hard of a shot. That is a heck of a shot from 22, senior captain for the Wolverines. Roycroft working it in. Kicks it out to Martucci. Martucci going to settle it behind the net. Martucci, one of the 5 captains for the Wolverines. Roycroft to the shot. That goes wide. Stuhler well positioned behind the net. Stuhler working it towards the net. Takes a hit. Sends it up to Fredrickson. Walsh back to Fredrickson. Walsh sends it over to Williams. Down low, finds Roycroft going to the net. Shot and a goal! Catch, move, goal by Jack Roycroft for the Wolverine 4th goal. Put him up 4-1. Beautiful passing by the Wolverines. And great hindsight by Roycroft to catch that, dodge a defender, be in close on the goalie, and put it in the back of the net. Oh, great goal by the Wolverines. Looking to get the next one. Molloy back on the dot. Hancock on the wing close, or near side, and Sesselman on the wing far side. Stalemate. Ball rolls back, and Sesselman there on the spot to pick up the ball in the possession. Since it was looking for Fredrickson there, it went off a Hopkinton player. I believe it's going to stay with Westwood. It is. Wolverines going to have the ball with 3 minutes, 10 seconds and counting left here in the first quarter. Sesselman looking towards the net. Sends it far side. Shot and a save. Found Cochran. What a beautiful pass. That wasn't an easy pass. That had some length to it, and he had it on a line. Cochran with a great shot. What a great save by Burns. Ball on the far side. Sam Cochran. He's already got a goal. Goes to his left, switches back to the right. Martucci fakes pass, looking to make a move inside. You get two guys drawn on him. Sends it up top to Walsh. Sends it to Fredrickson. Fredrickson, a nice move, looking for space. Shot and a goal! Troy Fredrickson. Hat trick already for the senior captain. And the Wolverine fifth goal to go up 5-1. So seeing offensive explosion for the Wolverines. Great passing, you know. They're drawing some double teams. Martucci saw two players come over to him. He sent it over to Walsh. Walsh then right to Roycroft, or excuse me, Fredrickson. Makes a nice move, creates some space, and then beautiful finish. Nice low shots. You like to see those. Those are, I'm sure, much harder for the goaltender to save, especially if they have a bounce to it. He can do it all. He can score the top corner goals and the low goals and keep the goaltenders guessing. So the Hillers with a face-off win. Molloy playing D on his counterpart, number 88, Owen Champlin. So two captains, the face-off guys going at it. Hillers working it inside. Shot and a goal. It's a goal by Matt Lottie. That's the Hillers' second goal. Iarici had the first goal for the Hillers. Lottie with the second. We got a minute 58 remaining here in the first quarter. Wolverines up 5-2. We're going to go right back to the draw. Ball is live. Molloy wins it back, and then Hancock picks it up for the draw control. Hancock, very active early this season on the draw controls. Coach C likes to mix it up depending on the matchups, and he likes, a long stick every now and then. Don Varner used to do that. He'd be on the draw controls. Adds a different element to it, and it's a good call. We've seen a lot of wins with long stick middies on, Gaffney last year as well. Long stick middies on the draw controls off the wing. Martucci had three guys pulling in on him there. He's getting a lot of attention today. Walsh, shot. That is blocked. Ball picked up by Fredrickson. Seen a couple block shots today by the Hillers. They're not afraid to get in front of shot. Painful. Martucci draws two defenders, sends it up to Williams. Walsh looking to his right. Williams has some space, shot, and a goal! Liam Williams with the rocket hits the top left part of the net for the Wolverines' sixth goal. Liam Williams, he had himself a game versus Walpole. He scored his goals when it mattered the most down the stretch. And they were absolute snipes. I was at field level for them. And you could hear the ping. They were just inside the post. And you can hear the net too, as when you hit, when you got a rocket on the shot, you can hear the kind of the net move. And they were terrific goals, big goals for the Wolverines. They had to keep tying it up against Walpole, and he tied it up a few times. Hillers with a face-off win. 38 seconds left here in the first quarter. Wolverines looking to keep the ball out of the Hillers' hands. Shot, that's going to go wide. Looking for a turnover to get the ball on the ground. 30 seconds remaining. Clock is going to pick back up on the ref's whistle. There we go. No, this clock hasn't restarted, so it's still at 30 while they're playing. I don't know if the official knows, but someone's got to, now it starts. The ball up top, Hancock defending. We're going to get that ball on the ground. Forces an outside pass, shot goes wide. So 14 seconds remaining. Good job by the Wolverines forcing some outside shots. There are capable saves, capable looks by their terrific goaltender, Jaden Pollock. Looking to find inside. Hancock able to get a hand on the stick of the Hopkinton player where he couldn't get the pass. Great job by C.J. Hancock there. Hopkinton was looking for a pass inside the kind of the crease area. Hancock, great job getting the hand on that to make sure that wasn't going to pick it up, and able to get out of the first quarter with a 6-2 lead after some explosive goals for the Wolverines. Fredrickson with a hat trick, goals by Cochran, Jack Roycroft, and Liam Williams. 6-2 after one quarter. Take a quick break, folks, and we'll be right back for the start of the second.
There's magic associated with high school sports that's hard to quantify. Legends are born.
And they put it in the back of the net.
Memories are made. And smiles come across our faces. These are the moments we talk about forever. They become part of our history. They define us. At Arch Orthodontics, we know how important it is to engage with our community, how critical it is to empower these defining moments. And in a sense, we define our community too. We build confidence. We make the smiles that light up the field, the rink, the gym, and the court. And we do it with a dedication to excellence, just like our athletes who inspire us every time they put on a Westwood uniform.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Cadillac of Norwood, where luxury meets performance, and Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Westwood Boys Lacrosse, brought to you by Westwood Media Center. Maeve Curtin on camera, Morgan Donahue on microphone. 6-2 lead for the Wolverines after the first quarter. Troy Fredrickson having a day so far. 3 goals for the senior. And he's looking to get some more. Wolverines right back to the dot. Malloy. He's got Martucci up top. He's got Roycroft down low. 3 senior captains all around the face-off dot here. And Hopkinton comes away with the win. Nice job there by Owen Champlin, able to win it in front, and they get a quick goal. That's a goal by number 9, Sam O'Brien, another captain for the Hillers. Hopkinton's very successful with getting their goals off of face-off ones. You know, they do a good job of when they get the win, they move it pretty quickly, which I think it's a great way to score goals, especially if you're going up against a team that, you know, leverages, they make changes with personnel and whatnot. So they're looking to catch Westwood off guard with that. So 2 goals so far off the draw for the Hillers. Wolverines looking to get the win here. Malloy's been terrific by getting some wins after a goal, and he gets one here. Timmy Malloy. Ball knocked loose. We got a whistle. It's a infraction on the Hillers, so Wolverine's going to have the possession. Martucci right away. Sends it down low to Stuhler. Then Fredrickson going to work it behind the net. Roycroft sends it up top to Jack Stuhler. Jack working right. And down low to fellow captain Troy Fredrickson. 3 goals already for the Wolverines. Martucci's got some space. Works it inside, makes a nice swim move, works it towards the net, off the crossbar. Oh, he just missed. That was a beautiful move. Made a swim move after a fake pass. He's so good at those fake passes. Opened the hips up too. He really sold it. Pass inside. Shot by Jack Stuhler off a pass from younger brother Will Stuhler. Saved by Burns. That was a Stuhler to Stuhler connection there. And the ball on the ground. Westwood fighting for it. Yeah, picked up by Fredrickson. So a nice turnover win for Westwood there. Pass on the overthrow, but Hancock there on the backup. Hancock working it down low. Great backup there by the Wolverines. And the ball's going to roll it over to Roycroft. Martucci coming back into the mix. Roycroft makes the first one miss. Able to work it inside. Shot. Ooh, and deflected wide. Hit something. I think it was either goaltender or the defender for the Hillers. Westwood got to keep the possession. Stuhler. Sends it to big brother Jack. Martucci. Shot. And a goal by the senior captain, Dante Martucci, on the board for the Wolverines. And I believe his first of the season and a big goal. Get the answer to the Hillers goal. You get Dante Martucci going and you're in big trouble, folks. Had a great season for the Wolverines. He was battling some injuries and illness, but made his mark in the games he had. He was a terrific leader throughout the whole season as well. And what an example he set. He was battling injury before the Thanksgiving game. Gave it everything he got. Got hurt, but he was there cheering on his guys on to victory for the Wolverines and a big Thanksgiving win. Had some big touchdowns and some big games. Ball picked off by Fredrickson. He gets knocked over the line. We get a whistle and a timeout called by the Hillers. Ensure they keep that possession. So timeout Hillers. Both teams going to talk about it.
There's magic associated with high school sports that's hard to quantify. Legends are born.
And they put it in the back of the net.
Memories are made. And smiles come across our faces. These are the moments we talk about forever. They become part of our history. They define us. At Arch Orthodontics, we know how important it is to engage with our community, how critical it is to empower these defining moments. And in a sense, we define our community too. We build confidence. We make the smiles that light up the field, the rink, the gym, and the court. And we do it with a dedication to excellence, just like our athletes who inspire us every time they put on a Westwood uniform.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Cadillac of Norwood, where luxury meets performance, and Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Both teams coming back on the field. Timeout called by the Hillers. Kind of one of those situations both teams fighting for it. The ball was in the Hillers' stick. But both, it's something that Coach Zahert does a terrific job of, like when the ball might, or Westwood might lose the possession, but they still have it and call the timeout, and it's a great opportunity to, Hancock gets the ball on the ground and picks it up, gets the D-twig, CJ Hancock with a big turnover. He's taking it towards the net. What a turnover. Right after the timeout called, Hancock knocks the ball loose, knocks the stick, a little yard sale there. And the Wolverines got the ball looking to get a goal here, take advantage of it. Walsh is looking for Martucci, ball picked off. Oh, a big hit by Walsh. I get a flag. That was a big hit. You could hear from up here. That was on 77, Nolan Irici, who scored the first one for the Hillers. The Wolverines going to go on the man down. So we'll get our first look for the Wolverines on the man down, as well as first look at Hopkinton's man up. Maeve and I are used to it being called the power play for hockey. I'm not sure if it's called power play for lacrosse, but we'll go with man up, man down. A little less time. Hockey, it's 2 minutes. But same concept. Trying to take advantage of the mismatches and get a goal. Hiller's going to start with it up top. Ball is going to be in the hands of senior captain Owen Champlin. And he's going to get the ball moving around. Down to Matt Lottie. To Champlin. Over to O'Brien. O'Brien with a goal. Back up to Champlin. Wolverines set up with little diamond formation. Sesselman up at the top. Keeping the ball outside. Trying to take away shots from the inside. That goes off the post. Back in the stick of the Hillers. Wolverines looking to pick off one of those passes when they try to go across. Don Varnon used to do such a good job doing that. Coach Todd Zaharik used to say you have to defend Don Varnon when he's off ball. Because off ball, he's a ball hawk, able to locate it and get a stick on it and cause turnovers. Shot from the right side, that's going to go wide. It's going to stay with the Hillers. But Wolverines getting time to tick off the clock as they are forcing some outside shots. Doing a good job keeping the perimeter. Champlin. Shot inside. That was deflected by Kyle Harvey. Well, great job by the senior captain defender. Kyle Harvey. Now he's going to take the man up top. Wolverines adjusting. That's a good look. You got that big stick in Harvey. He's able to knock the ball loose. Seen him do it a bunch of times. Seen him turn into goals. Champlin. Over to O'Brien. Back to Champlin. Harvey back up top defending. He's getting the stick in the face. Oh, pass just missed Harvey. Shot from the outside. That goes wide. Gonna stay with with the Hillers. Some additional time off the clock. Wolverines got to be close to getting a man up, but ball goes down Westwood's end and picked up by the Wolverines. Cochran. Excuse me. Not Cochran. That's Johnny Quinn. Johnny Quinn picking it up for the Wolverines. Senior for Westwood. And I believe a timeout called by Todd Zaharik. John Quinn on the field. Love to see it. Goaltender for your Westwood Wolverines. One of the biggest saves we've seen in the last couple of years in hockey, with overtime on the line. Made a big save right before fellow hockey teammate and lacrosse teammate Timmy Malloy buried the game winner versus King Philip. A great game. One we'll remember for a while. Todd Zaharik, terrific on the timeouts. And that was a good one, as I think Quinn was going to get the ball, but want to talk through it. You got 6 minutes, 47 seconds remaining here in the first half. Wolverines only have 4. You want to add to it, so you got to talk a little strategy, I'm sure, on the matchups and whatnot. That was a big turnover, though, for the Wolverines to get, as they were on the man down, and I believe now they should be all even. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they're back to all even for the Wolverines. They got 10 on the field. Greg Walsh going to have the ball right around the 30. Wolverines getting right back to work. Hiller's able to get within 4. Wolverines looking to get the next. Walsh cutting it inside. Good job by the Hiller defender. His stick breaks. He's got to get off the field. So Wolverines got a man up right now if they could take advantage of it. Cochran. Martucci back to Fredrickson. To Walsh. The Hiller defender able to come back on the field. That was a great job getting a new stick, coming right back on. Sesselman shooting lefty. Saved by Burns. Ball loose on the far side. 50-50 ball. Still on the ground. Both teams being pests, making it difficult to pick up. And then picked up by Fredrickson with a little help from Ryan Salvage. Good looks there, Ryan Salvage. Able to push that ball into open space, allow Fredrickson to pick it up. We got a whistle. We'll see what it is. I think they're going to pick off the broken stick. Yeah, the broken stick. Left official is going to hand it off to the official on the far sideline who's going to take it off the field. Definitely sharp edges on those broken sticks, so probably the right move. Make sure no one lands on it. Feel like deja vu. Walsh starting with it on the 30. Sends it up to Martucci. Sends it far side to Fredrickson. Back down low to Cochran. Fredrickson looking inside. Goes up top. Walsh has some space. Draws some attention. Was looking middle, but Hiller's able to get a stick on that. Ball loose in the middle. It's going to head towards the 50. Both teams jockeying for position. And it's going to be an offside on the Wolverines. Offside on Joe Morishell. And the Hiller's going to get the ball, but great job by Walsh. Able to knock that off a nice hit to get the ball back in the hands of the Wolverines. Picked it up himself. Greg Walsh. What a jump he's made this year from his freshman season. Only a sophomore. Very talented sophomore class for the Wolverines. Williams coming into the mix. Don't get him going, folks. He can score a lot of goals very quickly. Cochran goes left, goes right. Goes inside to Williams. Williams going to send it up top to Roycroft. Regroup and create some momentum. Gets the feet moving, just like a Ryan Pizzuto. Looking right, shoots right, he scores! What a rocket by Jack Roycroft for the Wolverine goal. Put them up 8-3. That's his second of the game. And a big goal for the Wolverines. Put them up 5. So up 5 goals with 4 minutes, 12 remaining here in the first half. Good to see the offense going. And different players in the mix, too. Love to see it. And a quick win by the Hillers, not just yet, too soon by me. Harvey able to pick it up, gets the possession for the Wolverines. He's going to pass it back to Pollock. Pollock works it up to Timmy Malloy. Malloy looks near side, finds Salvage. I asked head coach Todd Zaharik, who's this year's Ryan Hughes? He said, unquestionably, it's Salvage. So Ryan has been terrific, during tryouts, the scrimmages. He loves what he sees. Cochran with the shot. He scores! Sam Cochran puts it by Burns for the 9th goal. And what a goal. That goal doesn't happen if Harvey doesn't get that draw control where the ball ended up all the way down in the defensive end after the draw. It still wasn't solidified by any of the teams. He then picks it up and did some nice movement, gave it to Pollock. Pollock worked it up. And a nice goal there by Sam Cochran. He's got 2 now. Roycroft's got 2. Fredrickson's got 3. Liam Williams with a goal as well. Right back in the stick of Cochran. 3 minutes, 14 seconds remaining here in the first half. Wolverines up 9-3, looking to add to the lead. Williams. One-on-one with number 18 for the Hillers, Quinn Keeler. Williams able to get some space outside, looks inside, finds Roycroft behind the back. That goes wide. The Wolverines able to keep the possession. Williams behind the net. Stuhler chips it up to Fredrickson. Fredrickson holds, looking for a shot now, and a save by Burns. Nice save by senior captain Nate Burns, goaltender for the Hillers. Hillers gonna work their breakout. And Burns sends it up to number 5, Jake Guerin. Gets it across the 50. A timeout called by the Hillers. We'll take a quick break. You are watching Westwood Media Center coverage of Westwood Boys Lacrosse.
There's magic associated with high school sports that's hard to quantify. Legends are born.
And they put it in the back of the net.
Memories are made. And smiles come across our faces. These are the moments we talk about forever. They become part of our history. They define us. At Arch Orthodontics, we know how important it is to engage with our community, how critical it is to empower these defining moments. And in a sense, we define our community too. We build confidence. We make the smiles that light up the field, the rink, the gym, and the court. And we do it with a dedication to excellence, just like our athletes who inspire us every time they put on a Westwood uniform.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Cadillac of Norwood, where luxury meets performance, and Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Both teams back on the field. We got 2 minutes, 20 seconds remaining here in the first half. Wolverines up 9-3. Hillers looking to chip away at Westwood's lead. Hancock got the stick on stick. Forces a pass. John Quinn out there, number 25. John having himself a heck of a senior year. Played soccer. Hockey's his go-to sport. Had a terrific season of hockey. Now playing lacrosse. He's having himself some fun. Shot and a save by Pollock. I think it went off the chest protector, if not the helmet. You could hear it. And that's a big save. Ball in the hands of the Wolverines. 1 minute, 47 seconds and counting. Looking to keep the Hillers off the board for the remaining. Oh, open net. Oh! Pollock just missed an open net. That would have been something to see. Goalie goal from 70 yards out. Westwood with good backup there by Cochran. He able to keep the possession for the Wolverines. And a timeout for the Wolverines. So timeout for Westwood with 1 minute 29.
There's magic associated with high school sports that's hard to quantify. Legends are born.
And they put it in the back of the net.
Memories are made. And smiles come across our faces. These are the moments we talk about forever. They become part of our history. They define us. At Arch Orthodontics, we know how important it is to engage with our community, how critical it is to empower these defining moments. And in a sense, we define our community too. We build confidence. We make the smiles that light up the field, the rink, the gym, and the court. And we do it with a dedication to excellence, just like our athletes who inspire us every time they put on a Westwood uniform.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Cadillac of Norwood, where luxury meets performance, and Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
So both teams coming on the field after a timeout called by Todd Zaherk. I'll have to ask him if the timeouts are by the half or if it's the game. If you get a certain amount for the half or it's the game. And you know what we'll have to ask him when he's on next on the Wolverine Report, which we talked to him. Looked like we might be able to get him in a couple weeks during the school vacation. So stay tuned, folks. That will be a fun episode to get his feedback on the start of the season. The Wolverines with the ball. As they're closing out the last minute and 13 seconds here in the first half. Sesselman was looking for Cochran. That ball got knocked loose. Picked up by Burns, the goaltender, and they worked the breakout. Ball in the hands of Guerin. Guerin gets it across the 50. Hillers looking to get a goal. Chip into the Westwood lead before the close. Ball on the ground, took a bounce, and Sessom was able to get a hit on the Hiller player, but Hiller's able to pick that up. It was a awkward play. I don't think they saw Sesselman in the area there, and he made the hit, trying to create some space to pick up the ball, but Hiller player able to come on. Hancock coming on the field. He's behind, trying to get a stick on the Hiller player, but forces a pass that went out of bounds and a turnover, which is going to be a Westwood ball. Harvey's got it with 19 seconds. He's going to try and work it up, see if they can get a shot off before the buzzer. Roycroft has got the feet moving. He gets it across the 50. 10 seconds. 9. Sends it down low to Hancock. Hancock scores! CJ Hancock with his first on the season, and they beat the clock with 5 seconds remaining here in the first half. Jack Roycroft, terrific job working that ball across the 50. Didn't know if they were going to have enough time. He made some nice moves, create some space, finds Hancock just outside the crease area. And then Hancock with looked like Ava Connaughton with the quick move up high, shot down low for the finish. First goal of the season for sophomore CJ Hancock. And a win by Timmy Malloy just before the buzzer goes off for the first half. So after one half of lacrosse, the Wolverines with explosive offense getting a 10-3 lead over the Hillers. Goals for the Wolverines. Troy Fredrickson on the first and the second. Sam Cochran on the third. Jack Roycroft on the fourth. Fredrickson on the fifth. Liam Williams, Dante Martucci, and Jack Roycroft, the 8th goal for the Wolverines. Sam Cochran, the 9th, and then CJ Hancock with 5 seconds remaining in the first half to put the Wolverines up 10-3. And stick around, folks. It's going to be a fun second half. You're watching Westwood Media Center coverage of your Westwood Boys Lacrosse.
There's magic associated with high school sports that's hard to quantify. Legends are born.
And they put it in the back of the net.
Memories are made. And smiles come across our faces. These are the moments we talk about forever. They become part of our history. They define us. At Arch Orthodontics, we know how important it is to engage with our community, how critical it is to empower these defining moments. And in a sense, we define our community too. We build confidence. We make the smiles that light up the field, the rink, the gym, and the court. And we do it with a dedication to excellence, just like our athletes who inspire us every time they put on a Westwood uniform.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Cadillac of Norwood, where luxury meets performance, and Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
We are underway here in the second half. It's going to be an infraction on Westwood. Possession going to go to the Hillers. Timmy Malloy staying with his fellow face-off guy, Champlin. Doing a good job staying around the hip pocket. The ball in the hands of Matt Lottie and his stick. Williams on top of it. Williams like a cornerback out there with his speed. He's got twin brother out there as well. Coming on the field for the Hillers, or coming back was Champlin. He went off for a second, then right back on. He's going to get his feet moving for a running start. Trying to chip into Westwood's 10-3 lead. Shot from the outside goes wide. Nice crowd here on the field for the game. Mostly parents. Still somewhat early before the den starts to show up, but great night for lacrosse. Hiller player able to get by Williams and then finds the back of the net. Looked like Sam O'Brien able to get the fourth goal for the Hillers. His second goal of the game. Looked like his feet might have connected with Williams' feet. Williams hit the turf. O'Brien had some space, took it towards the net, and a little bounce shot in the top left corner to get the fourth goal for the Hillers. So that was what you're probably looking for if you're a head coach for the Hillers, Dan Norton. Get that first goal. Cut right into that lead. And now it's a 6-goal lead for the Wolverines. You can't make a run if you don't get the first one or get some much-needed goals, which they did. Ball loose on the ground, picked up by number 22, Ryan Millard. And the Hillers have the possession. Martucci able to get in the lane, force Millard to pull out. He's going to put it in the stick of Champlin. Champlin Hiller sideline shouting out the play. Trying to set up a pick on Sesselman. They do. Sesselman able to push Champlin outside a little bit. Pass down low. Great job by Williams, able to get a stick on it. Knocks the ball loose. Open player, and he closed that window. Pollock comes out, lays a hit. And we got a whistle. It's a fraction. Ball going to stay with the Hillers. Pollock came out of the net. He saw an open player down low, so he went out to make the hit to impede on that attempt. Great for him to see that and to react to it. That could have been a goal, easy goal for them if he catches it and he's in alone by himself. Hancock taking away the angle. Gets a couple whacks, shot, saved by Pollock, and Pollock gets the win. Jaden Pollock gets a Cardamino point there. We're going to start that. Evan Cardamino point. Evan's not here today, but love the effort. He would love that play by Pollock. It was off a shot. Hancock did a good job of forcing a shot that was very savable. And Pollock, what a play. Greg Walsh coming on the field. He's done a good job setting up Fredrickson on some assists. The Wolverines slinging it around, moving it nicely. Starting to get in their groove. Getting comfortable with, the passes that they need to get their offense going. Sesselman had some space, dished it off to Stuhler in the hands of Walsh. Walsh finds Fredrickson, who's working it around into the middle. Finds some space, goes to the net, and he scores! Troy Fredrickson with a beautiful goal, able to work his way through traffic, takes it right to the cage, finds the back of the net for the Wolverine 11th goal, his 4th goal. Have a day, Troy Fredrickson. And another great answer for the Wolverines. Anytime that the Hillers have had a goal, Westwood has had an answer. That's what you love to see. Counter punch. A whistle on the face-off. It's an infraction on Westwood. Going to be Hiller ball. The Hillers making some substitutions. That's interesting. So Champlin goes off the field and comes right back on. Oh, I know what it is. He's changing his stick. So he's got a stick for the face-off, and then he's got a stick for offense. So that would make a lot of sense. You don't see too many guys that are good at that have both. And that's impressive. The captain, goal scorer, and a terrific face-off player. And Wolverines with a turnover. Hancock sends it down low to Stuhler. Great job by the Wolverines. Get the ball back in their stick. Stuhler sends it up top to Captain Roycroft. Wolverines going to make their substitutions. Coming down low is Williams. Roycroft to the shot. You got a flag in the air. Wolverines going to go on the man up. It was a slash on the Hillers. So the second man up for the Wolverines. I don't think they got a goal in the first one they had, but they had about 5 shots. Did a good job moving it around, and we're going to get another look here. Wolverines have Fredrickson, Martucci, Stuhler, Walsh, Williams, and Roycroft. That's a heck of a group right there. Fredrickson in the middle, shot and a save by Burns. That's been a good look for the Wolverines. Fredrickson works his way around, works it by a cut, knocked out of bounds by Martucci, causes a turnover. Huge, because Westwood still gets the ball back in their hands with the man up. Hillers had the ball going the other way and could let the clock tick on the man up. Martucci able to get that turnover, ball back in the hands of Westwood. So looking to take advantage of the man up. They're moving the ball down low. Walsh with the shot, and he scores. Greg Walsh with the man-up goal and the 12th goal. Greg Walsh, he looked terrific versus Ashland in the first game. I believe he had a couple goals. And then his first goal of the game after having a bunch of assists already. An added weapon. Wolverines with a bunch of them to choose from. And it's a good look. When you're on the man up, that means you're doing some good things out there. You're either a good finisher or a terrific passer, and he's able to do both. Hillers get the face-off win. About halfway through here in quarter number 3, Wolverines up 12-4. Inside look and a goal. Let's see who that was. It looks like number 99. Jeez, they have some interesting numbers. So Cal Rockwell. And that was another quick goal off the face-off. So that's the third one we've seen where quick win on the draw, some nice movement by the Hillers to work it down low. Find a big body for a quick pass, quick shot, and a goal. It's been an effective way for the Hillers to put the ball in the net to cut into the Wolverines' lead. Back to 7 goals. The ball working its way into the Westwood offensive zone, picked up by Cochran. So the always interesting 20-yard draw control when the ball off the faceoff works its way into the box and then picked up by an attack. Some nice movement by the Wolverines. Fredrickson with the goal and his 5th of the game. And another answer for the Wolverines. Something we'll have to ask Coach Z after the game is how pleased is he with Westwood's answer on every Hiller goal? Like going out and winning the faceoff and then getting a goal. To squash any momentum that the Hillers come back with. Great to see. There's a face-off. Looked like Brett Bama in there for the Wolverines on the draw. Picked up by Champlin. Champlin going to look to dish it off, switch his stick out. Seen him do this a few times. He's going to walk off the field. Going to switch his stick out. He's going to stay out, so he's going to get a little rest. Hillers. Not going to get the next one. Pass inside, knocked loose by Harvey. Harvey with a nice hit there, able to lay a nice hit, which got a turnover, but the official late whistle is going to say that's a push. That was a late whistle. It was about 4 seconds after Harvey made contact. So the Hiller's going to keep the ball. Jimmy Sanda shot. That ball gets blocked. Picked back up by the Hillers. Got deflected into the stick of number 3, Matt Lodi. Shot goes wide. Williams defending behind the net. It's a stick-on-stick hit. Ball stays in the pocket, making it really difficult to make some space. Shot. That's going to go wide. And that goes through the end zone, and going to stay with the Hillers. Great effort by Pollock trying to chase that angle. And Harvey's been a nuisance so far tonight. Congrats to Kyle Harvey, recently committed to his college, I believe somewhere down in Florida. I think he's going to be a pilot, which is really cool. Sesselman makes a nice hit, knocks player down, makes another nice hit. And that draws a couple flags. Looks like there's some contact to the helmet. Shot saved by Pollock. And the Hiller's going to go on the man up. I was going to say contact to the head for Will Sesselman. He is a big boy. He probably put on 6 inches, what do you say, Maeve? 5, 6 inches since last year. The big kid. Fellow sophomores, Maeve Curtin and Will Sesselman. Very talented class, the sophomore class at Westwood High School. In all sports. The Hillers getting to work on the man up. Shot and a goal. That's a goal from Number 3, Matt Lottie. His second goal. And the Hillers' 6th goal. See if we can get some updates of the girls lacrosse game. They are playing in Hopkinton. It's streaming live by our friends at HCAM. Tom Nappy on the call. One of the best in the business. And it's a 4-0 Westwood girls lead in their game. So we got that game streaming now. Face off. Ball stalemate so far. Martucci chasing after it. Both teams fighting for it. Martucci able to pick it up. And they get a flag on the Hillers. So now we're going to have even strength because of the penalty drawn. And Martucci's going to just let the clock tick to allow Westwood to get the man up. Smart play. Let that clock tick to get your guy back on the even strength while the penalty's delayed. So you can get some time for the man up. But not when you have Fredrickson who could shoot like that. And we get the whistle. So penalty on the Hillers. That was a slash. We get another goal in the Westwood girls game. Looks like it might have been Cassidy McMillan. Wolverines up 5-0 in that game. So thanks to HCAM. Nothing cooler than watching 2 games at once. Some hockey players on the lacrosse team. Kate Sullivan. Erin Gannon scored her first goal the other day, Maeve. Really? Yeah. They had in the Ashland game. We had an Erin Gannon goal. She's got a lot of goals this year in a lot of sports. The Wolverines working the ball around. 3 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Wolverines up 13-6. Roycroft for Williams. Good solid passing going on here. Walsh to Williams, finds the back of the net. Liam Williams, the rocket, on a great pass from Walsh. The Wolverine 14th goal. Put him up 14-6. That is Williams' second goal of the game. Yes, 2 goals for Williams. Quiet night for him. He's a kid that can put 4 or 5 up. But still very early. Right back to the draw we go. The wing's a little bit more offset. See Hancock a little bit more off to the right. Sesselman up top. And a quick win by the Hillers on the draw. Do they try the same quick shot, quick pass, quick shot? They tried a shot. That was wide. I think it might have been deflected. And it's going to be a Westwood ball. So I don't know if it was Westwood had good positioning there or if it was a pass that went out. But Westwood going to have the possession. They're going to work their breakout. Find Pollock. Pollock with a laser going for the net again. But Burns able to get in front of it. And I could hear head coach Todd Zarek said, "Come on, Jaden." You know, if Jaden Pollock scores a goal, folks, the roof is going to come off here at Flay Hive. The metaphorical roof. Of course, we're outside here. But I also said that about if Maeve Hennessy scores a goal today, the roof is going to come off. And it did at the Canton Ice House when they played the Walpole Timberwolves December 23rd. Remember that day because we did 3 games that day. And a beautiful pass by Kate Sullivan. Maeve Hennessy put it in the back of the net for her first career goal on the girls varsity team. Shot outside, goes wide. That was Matt Lottie. He's a dangerous player for the Hillers. Got 2 goals today. Hillers going to work it behind the net. Sesselman on the defense. Forces the pass outside. Lottie goes left, switches right. Walsh doing a good job staying in the sphere. Wolverines doing a good job forcing passes outside, which ultimately turn into shots outside. A lot of wide shots, and then a goal there. Goal by number 17 for the Hillers, Chase O'Donnell on the board. With a minute remaining here in the third quarter. So a minute left. The Wolverines up 7. They're up 14-7 on the Hillers. We're going to get Jack Fallon in the dot for the Wolverines, senior Jack Fallon. Jack had a great hockey season this year. Had a bunch of time on the defensive core as the Wolverines fought through injuries. They didn't make any excuses. They had some bunch of injuries this year, and they just, next man up, found ways to win. Guys like Jack Fallon, who did a good job of holding down the fort for the Wolverines. Ball on the ground, loose. Picked up by the Hillers. Westwood trying to knock it loose. Player goes down. We're going to get a flag and a whistle. So a penalty on Westwood. And we get some cheers from the Hiller fans. They seems like not happy with the way the calls have been going tonight. A couple look back from Westwood parents. Always funny. So the man up for the Hillers. Westwood going to be a man down with 43 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Champlin. It's in the stick of Lottie. Champlin and Lottie, two captains. Or Matt Lottie is not a captain, Champlin is. Pass down low to Dacey. Top back in the hands of Champlin. Champlin trying to work it inside. Sessman taking away that angle. Sessman doing a good job of, ooh, that went off a foot. I don't know if it was Westwood or Hopkinton, but looked pretty painful. Fredrickson, or no, that was Roycroft, who came out of nowhere to force a pass, which was a bad pass, went out of bounds, turnover for the Hillers, Westwood ball. Westwood tried to just send that down the other end with the clock expiring, and then we get the expiration for the third quarter. So after 3 quarters of play, Westwood 14, the Hillers 7. You're watching Westwood Media Center coverage of Westwood Boys Lacrosse. We'll be right back for the start of the fourth quarter.
There's magic associated with high school sports that's hard to quantify. Legends are born.
And they put it in the back of the net.
Memories are made. And smiles come across our faces. These are the moments we talk about forever. They become part of our history. They define us. At Arch Orthodontics, we know how important it is to engage with our community, how critical it is to empower these defining moments. And in a sense, we define our community too. We build confidence. We make the smiles that light up the field, the rink, the gym, and the court. And we do it with a dedication to excellence, just like our athletes who inspire us every time they put on a Westwood uniform.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Cadillac of Norwood, where luxury meets performance, and Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
About to get underway. Wolverines up 14-7. Troy Fredrickson, 5 goals. He's got a 5-pack. Liam Williams with 2. Jack Roycroft's got a couple. Greg Walsh on the board. See, we got a goal from CJ Hancock. 5 seconds left in the half. Greg Walsh goal. Sam Cochran goal. Dante Martucci goal. Sam Cochran got a couple, actually. Great day for number 15 as well. So Westwood with the ball. Shot by Williams. That ball is working its way to the sidelines. Gonna stay with Westwood. It looked like that hit like the leg of the goaltender. It took a awkward bounce towards the sideline off of contact on the goalie. A great hustle by Williams. He was running towards the net, the ball going the other way. Put a stop on it to then put the Jets on to chase after that ball to earn that possession. Shot by Roycroft, saved by Burns, and Burns able to pick the ball up in the crease. We got a loud car on Manhattan Street. And a timeout called by the Hillers as they get it across the 50. So timeout for the Hillers with 10 minutes, 50 seconds remaining.
There's magic associated with high school sports that's hard to quantify. Legends are born.
And they put it in the back of the net.
Memories are made. And smiles come across our faces. These are the moments we talk about forever. They become part of our history. They define us. At Arch Orthodontics, we know how important it is to engage with our community, how critical it is to empower these defining moments. And in a sense, we define our community too. We build confidence. We make the smiles that light up the field, the rink, the gym, and the court. And we do it with a dedication to excellence, just like our athletes who inspire us every time they put on a Westwood uniform.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Cadillac of Norwood, where luxury meets performance, and Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
We're back underway. Hillers with the ball. Hancock all over Lottie. Forces a shot saved by Pollock. And Westwood able to come away with it. Ball goes in Hancock's pocket, able to regroup, pick it up again. And Wolverines working the breakout. Yeah, out of bounds, pushed out of bounds. Ball gonna stay or go to the Hillers. And the Hillers got to get the touch. They do. The sound traveling nicely here at Flay Hive. You can hear the coaches. I mean, we could hear the timeout call. That's how I knew it was a timeout by the Hillers. Pass inside, well defended. Ryan Williams able to knock it loose. Picked up by, looked like 13, Joe Morishell. And then sends it off to Walsh, who's able to get it across the 50. Finds Hancock. Hancock sends it over to Fredrickson. Sesselman coming on the field. Hancock going to switch off for Martucci to come in. As we entered the fourth quarter, Wolverines up 14-7. Explosive offense for the Wolverines. Stuhler looking for a crashing Fredrickson. That ball goes out of bounds. Going to be a turnover and a Hiller ball. We got a score update in the Westwood girls lacrosse game on the road at Hopkinton after one quarter, up 8-0 on the Hillers. Heck of a start for the girls. They had a big win on the road in Franklin on a back-to-back. They played Dedham the day before. They got a big win on the road versus an always tough Division I opponent. Matchup of the Division I state championship from 2021, I believe. And a miscommunication on that pass. Pollock able to pick it up. He was looking for Walsh. Walsh fumbled it for a sec, able to pick it up and on the second one. And a timeout call by Todd Zahurt. Great timeout as the ball was coming out of the pocket of Walsh. And he is in mid-season form already with the timeout calls. We'll take a quick break, folks. Hear a message from our partners. I'll be right back. Kick off coverage after the timeout.
There's magic associated with high school sports that's hard to quantify. Legends are born.
And they put it in the back of the net.
Memories are made. And smiles come across our faces. These are the moments we talk about forever. They become part of our history. They define us. At Arch Orthodontics, we know how important it is to engage with our community, how critical it is to empower these defining moments. And in a sense, we define our community too. We build confidence. We make the smiles that light up the field, the rink, the gym, and the court. And we do it with a dedication to excellence, just like our athletes who inspire us every time they put on a Westwood uniform.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Cadillac of Norwood, where luxury meets performance, and Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Right back to the action. Wolverines working around the perimeter. Roycroft with it near side. He's making it work upside, then gets a little path to the net, hits the post. Picked up by Jack Guerin, trying to get the breakout. He's got Stuhler in his pocket. He's got some help from Fredrickson, forcing, a tight space. And they got to get it over, and they got to get it in the box very quickly. And they do. That was close. I think it's 20 seconds after the time you got to get it into the box area. Oh, big hit there. Jack Roycroft laying a hit and gets the turnover. I've seen a couple hits where it knocks the ball out of the stick. And what a hit by the senior. He's going to walk off, and he's giving the pound to a couple teammates, setting that physical tone for the Wolverines. Lacrosse, certainly you don't see as much hits. We've seen some tonight, which has been great. Williams to the back of the net. Liam Williams. Back-to-back goals for Liam. Scored the 14th, and now the 15th goal. And he's got a hat trick. 3 goals on the night for Liam. He did a great job after Roycroft knocked the ball on the ground. He worked that ball across the field into Westwood's offensive territory like a Ryan Pizzuto, a road runner. And then what a shot. That puts the Wolverines up 15-7. 7 minutes, 24 remaining here at Flayhive. The lights are on. It is a nice night for lacrosse, not too cold. Overcast, might see some rain towards the end. We'll see. 7 minutes and counting if it does. The Hillers getting their personnel out there. Coach is having them go back to then get a new player on the field. Take the long stick midi off, bring a short stick midi in. Coming off the field was Irici, who scored the first goal for the Hillers. Westwood, you got great D, and the defensive middies they have. Terrific job. They're like defensive backs. Use their athleticism to not give any ground, and really sharp on the sticks. They can do a good job of stick on stick to get deflections, get sticks in lanes of passes. That's a wide shot. And they've been doing that, a lot of that. Seeing a lot of wide shots by the Hillers because of some of the great positioning by the midfielders. Shot, another wide shot. As Sesselman on that defense forced a tough angle, which shot wide left. They're going to redo it. Ball's going to be picked up by number 17, Chase O'Donnell. Right back to the offense. Wolverines looking to get a turnover. The ball back in their stick. You see Ryan Owens on the field. Pride of the Maze, Colburn Street. Number 10, love to see it. Todd does such a good job getting players in there. Getting a good mixture. Allow players to earn playing time. Shot and a goal. Able to sneak that one by Pollock. Number 17, Chase O'Donnell. And he's got back-to-back goals for the Hillers. And a 15-8 game now. 7-goal lead for the Wolverines with 5 minutes remaining. I'll see how the Wolverines answer. They've been able to get an answer for the Hiller goals we've seen tonight and see if they get it here. Malloy back on the dot. Stuhler and Hancock. Stalemate right at the center dot. Hopkinton able to pick it up. Hancock knocks it loose. On the ground, Malloy finagling with it, able to pick it up in traffic. Very difficult to do in lacrosse is picking up a ball when you got traffic all around you. And a great timeout called by Todd Saharik. He, like I said, he is in mid-season form when it comes to the timeout calls. Where Timmy was on the sideline, he was kind of close to getting pushed out of bounds. And a call like that allows you to keep the ball in. You know what? You get to talk through it. You got 4 minutes, 47 seconds remaining here in the game. The Wolverines, unless a miracle happens, for the Hillers, will walk away with a win. But you want to make sure that they don't give free goals, free turnovers. You also want to close the game out. Score a goal if you can. Put that up to 8. Make that team have to fight against you and the clock. Very difficult to do when you have to fight an opponent and a winding down clock. No better example of closing out a game than the Westwood girls versus Auburn. Late goal in the third period, and then just great defense to keep that puck out of the net to close that out, get a big win for Westwood. A round of 8 to allow them to go into the round of the Final Four. So Westwood going to have the possession on the whistle. It is Liam Williams up top, sends it to Matt Stuhler, who's going to work it down to the X position. Sam Cochran. Martucci. We got Jack Stuhler positioned in the middle area. He comes out to pass it around. Keep an eye on him. I'm sure you'll look for him in the center area. He positions himself nicely there. Shot saved by Burns. Hillers looking to work their breakout. Oh, picked off by Martucci. Martucci gets in front of that pass. They're looking for maybe a fast break there, but Martucci going to settle it down to let some clock continue to tick. Inside 4 minutes, Smart. He's got the game management down, just knowing situationally. And one of the plays he made was when the Wolverines were a man down, and he held on to the ball when a penalty was drawn on the Hillers to maximize the time that Westwood would have. Williams takes a whack, pass it over to Fredrickson. That ball got knocked loose, picked off by the Hillers. Yeah, send it to the goaltender, Burns, to work it up. He sends it over to his defenseman, a little back and forth between them. Ball on the ground, still on the ground, and still on the ground again. Hancock looking to pick it up. He had some daylight going towards the net. Able to pick it up. A little pass inside to Jack Stuhler. That gets knocked down. Loose in front of the net. And picked up by Burns. Tight checking. Ball locked down again. Stuhler. Little Stuhler having himself a game. Doesn't have a goal, but he's been doing everything that is important in a lacrosse game. Some terrific passing, setting up players, some good looks, getting some turnovers out there. Bringing the energy, too. Pass inside, and there's Stuhler with the finish. Will Stuhler. Just mentioned how he hadn't had a goal, and he gets on the board with a beautiful goal on a nice pass. I believe that was a pass from his brother, Jack Stuhler. And what a goal by the sophomore, Will Stuhler. And that's Westwood now on the board, 16-8, 2 minutes 29 remaining. Right back to the dot. That was Fallon on the draw. Ball's heading towards the far sideline. And Hancock able to get the draw control. He came out of nowhere to pick that up. Works through a couple guys. I don't know how he got to that. He didn't really have an angle, but the stick certainly helps when you got the long midi stick in your hands. Nice win. 2 minutes remaining. Wolverines just going to look to close it out, play a little keep away unless they want to get a shot in. Looks like they are still looking to maybe get a shot. Stuhler is looking towards the net. Gives it to Fredrickson. Fredrickson making a move outside. In the game for the Wolverines, number 2, Giorgio Sagbini. He's looking to shoot. Oh, bounce shot just goes over the net. Westwood ball, 1:20 remaining. Will Sesselman holding on to it. Going to work it towards the middle of the field. He's getting pushed on by Ryan Dacey. Does a good job of protecting it. Now they're going to send number 11 after him. Thano Garanzos. He works down low. He's going to give it off to Stuhler. Stuhler finds Walsh. That took off about 30 seconds. We got 30 seconds now remaining in the game. Sagbini looking for a swim move. He's getting the boys fired up on the sideline. And he hits the ground. No call. Oh, we do get a flag. Late flag for that. Going to be Westwood ball. So Westwood ball with 21 seconds remaining here in the game. It's going to be a Westwood ball. They're going to be right at the 40, so it looks like it's going to be in the stick of Liam Williams. And Westwood looking to get their first win of the season. All about certain. Just 21 seconds remaining until it's in the books. A little back and forth between Fredrickson and, they're looking for Gio down low. Missed on that connection. That's kept in by Martucci. 2 seconds left. Finds Gio. Shot goes wide. That would have get the boys fired up. He put that in, but Wolverines able to come away with a nice 16-8 win over the Hopkinton Hillers, who last year both teams went 1-1 against each other, and put a thorn in Westwood's aspirations for a TVL title. Now that they have a TVL large with no longer with Medfield, it's anyone's to win. So a big win for the Wolverines after the Wolverines have, this is the Wolverines' second win. Apologies, I said it was their first. So their second win, they got their first one versus Ashland. So Wolverines now 2-1 on the year. And that's big. 2-0 in the TVL large. Have yet to play Dedham or Norwood, who are also part of the TVL large. But that is how you want to start the season, to chase after a TVL large title. So that is going to do it here from Flahi Field. The Wolverines 16-8 winners over the Hillers. And story of the night, Troy Fredrickson, 5-pack of goals. And a lot of good combinations as well from other players. Liam Williams had 3 goals. We saw a bunch of players with 2 goals as well. So great night for the Wolverines. Thanks, folks, for tuning in. Looking forward to seeing you all in the next one. Take care, folks.